All right, good morning, people of YouTube. So we are back with a quick update to Blackwargreymon slash Gaiomon in the BT9 format. So I've taken this deck and I've gotten a lot more practice in. I had played some games in the BT9 format to get a feel for the deck and to make sure that the deck profile I was posting wasn't ass. But I have made some edits to the deck, and just to make it a little bit more consistent, make it a little bit better. Overall, nothing too major has changed, but since the deck profile last time did get a lot of traction, I wanted to provide you guys with an update. So make sure you guys like and comment if you guys want to see more updates for deck profiles in the future, but we'll go ahead and get into it. I got 4 of the BT9 Coromon as my only egg to give me extra power when I'm swinging. Very important since we took the heroes out for starter deck or for the BT1 ties. Rookies are the same. I got 4 of the first promo Agu and 1 of the starter deck Agu as my generic power boosters. I got 2 copies of the Black Agumon, 3 copies of the BT5 Agumon, and 4 copies of the Agumon X antibody, giving us 5 searchers, 5 power buffs, and then 4 X antibodies, giving us 14 rookies. So do really like this. Our rookie lineup provides us a lot of consistency to help see our main combo pieces. Going into level 4s, they are also very similar. I'm playing 4 copies of the Greymon X antibody. This card is busted. I got 2 copies of the Blackwargreymon. I did go down on this a little bit. Just because I wanted to make room for more copies of the ST1 Greymon. Just getting extra security attack, making sure that I can close out games when I need to. And then the last level 4 of the deck, I play 2 copies of the BT5 Greymon. This card's cheap, gives us more power. It's a really good card. So the level 4 lineup is roughly the same. I literally just swapped a Greymon out for another Greymon. So going into the level 5s, I still got 4 copies of the Metal Greymon. This is very important. And I found out that this is one of the big answers to a lot of cards in the format. If you fail to OTK them, you can just de-digivolve them down, evolve into Altruist mode or X antibody, and then go into, get your Cool Boy boost, and then either swing over them or, go into a Mega from there and then swing over them. But if you have a stack that you can't answer immediately, you just digivolve, or you just de-digivolve it by digivolving into this card. This card also provides a lot of value for being a black level 5, so you can evolve into the promo Blackwargreymon. However, if I do decide to take that card out of the list, I will take 1 copy of this out for either a second copy of Altruist mode or a third copy of Metal Greymon X antibody, because both of these cards are just insane. X antibody provides tremendous value just by being a highly aggressive card. You can just give your stack security attack +1 and plus 3,000 by evolving over either of these level 5s, because Metal Greymon Altruist mode always counts as Metal Greymon. The X antibody is a really valuable card. This is a really valuable card. And I could honestly see myself bumping either of these copies up, and I could see myself bumping the Metal Greymon down, because while this card is instrumental, it is a 4 cost to evolve, and these cards are only 3. But this is the only black level 5 that we're playing, so it goes into the promo. And the promo is really important for the OTK, but you could also just go with a more control-y route, so I'm kind of up in the air with how I want to progress with the deck moving forward. However, right now, this version of the deck is performing very, very well, and it is constantly winning in just 1 turn, just by taking all of your opponent's security away, and then making your opponent either scoop or just winning by swinging with a rookie after that. So we got all of these Metal Greymons here going into the level 6s. Got 3 copies of Gaiomon. This card's instrumental. Just absolutely key. Absolutely love them. They slapped a lot of keywords on this card. I got a comment asking why Gaiomon doesn't play the X antibody option card as often as some of the other archetypes do. And I think the reason is because X Antibody as an option allows you to swing and then Digivolve like while you're swinging, giving you a pseudo Blitz-like effect. But Gaiomon just has Blitz. So if I had to answer that question right now, I think that's the answer. Um, so yeah, Gaiomon provides 2 combo pieces for the cost of being 1 card. It's great. I love him. He's a great card and a welcome addition to the deck. I'm playing 2 copies of the BT8 Blackwargreymon. This card is still nuts. You can pop memory setters, choke your opponent. If your opponent has, 3 cool boys out, you can digivolve into this and pop 3 cool boys. For that reason, I am thinking about cutting this promo Blackwargreymon for a 3rd copy of this. But there were many games that I stole in my playtesting just by digivolving this Metal Greymon into this promo Blackwargreymon and going, swing, Digiburst 2, swing, Digiburst 2, swing, Digiburst 2. And you always make it so that way you try to keep the same level cards in your stack so that you can use the Altruist mode effect. I guess you won't have Altruist mode for this card, but so that you could use the X Antibody Greymon effect to make yourself live if you check an option. But eventually you will have to get rid of this card in your sources to stand back up again. But when you're done standing back up again, this card can just go back into a Gaiomon and then swing for an even bigger body. So I do really like this card, and there are times where this card can win you the game where Gaiomon can't. And for that reason and that reason alone, I do think playing 1 of it is a good decision. But I was playing 2 in my last list. I ended up cutting it because it felt a little bit inconsistent because I couldn't digivolve it into it as often as I would have liked. The last Digimon I'm playing in the deck is a single copy of Omnimon X Antibody. I didn't have room for this card last time, but holy crap, this card is amazing. When you have a big stack filled with multiple sources, like Greymon X Antibody, the Agumon X Antibody, you got a big stack filled with like 6, 7, sometimes even more sources. Your Omnimon X Antibody can negate, 3, 4 attacks. And if they try to delete it, you can just get rid of 2 sources because of the Greymon and then just keep yourself alive. Omnimon X Antibody is insane. You should be playing this card in this list. And I was doing you a disservice for not telling you about it in the last video. So there it is. Play it. For the Tamers, I have cut Hero for Tai. So this helped influence the decision to make the egg the BT9 Coromon to give myself the power boost, but I just wanted to ensure that I could OTK my opponent, and Taikamiya helps with that. Sometimes you do miss out on the power buff from Hero, very rarely. So, yeah, this Greymon has never had an issue gaining power, and because of these rookies, because of the Coromon, I kind of feel the same. You could even include the secret rare Metal Greymon from BT1 as a sick inheritable source to give yourself plus 3,000 power. That's not a bad idea to kind of supplement this card, but I don't know. I do really like the Taikamiya. Giving yourself extra checks is pivotal. For the last Tamer, we got 3 copies of Cool Boy. I did cut Nokia completely. The more I played Nokia, the more I felt that Nokia was just an inconsistent card. Cool Boy helps you pop off a lot harder, and a lot of the times that you have Nokia, you don't have an Agumon that you want to play from your hand, or like sometimes you'll just open Nokia, and that's not really that good of a card in your opening hand, whereas Cool Boy kind of is, because he helps you get your combo pieces as well as getting you memory later on. So I do think this is just a more consistent card than Nokia, and for that reason and that reason alone, I am playing this just over Nokia completely. The saddest update to this list is I did cut a red memory boost. I felt that the rookies gave me enough consistency to justify this decision. However, if I cut a Cool Boy, if I cut a copy of the next card, the first card to go back into the list is a 4th copy of red memory boost. I get a lot of people asking me about my decision for 4 copies of this card, and the reason is because it's an OTK format. You want to see all of your combo pieces as early as possible. This card hits all of your combo pieces, gets them into your hand for relatively free, because you can just spend the memory that you spent on this and just pop off by gaining the 2 whenever this card is active with its delay effect. You can just make it so that way you can get your combo pieces, and then when you're ready to pop off, you always have enough memory to do so. This card is very important. It's arguably one of the most important cards of the list, and you need to play at least 3 in pretty much any OTK deck. Any deck profile I see for like Garurumon, X Antibody OTK, or like Greymon OTK, or anything that isn't playing at least 3 memory boost, I kind of question as to why they made that decision. It's that important of a card, this format. Especially in a deck like Red that typically has trouble finding its combo pieces. The biggest change to this list is the inclusion of Gaia Force. So, a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes you just need to sack your opponent. Sometimes your opponent is playing Alphamon or Yukin, and they didn't go up through Greymon that turn, so they don't have the protection. Or, sometimes your opponent's playing Garurumon, and they go swing, and they hit a level 5 or something in your security. They spend the X Antibody Garurumon source to survive that, and then they restand, and then they swing again, and then they hit a Gaia Force. And then you're like, well, cool, I win this game now. There are times that this card will just save you. And there are some times that you just are going to get OTK'd. That's the way this format is. Grandis is a deck, Alphamon is a deck, Melga X is a deck. This card kind of shits on all of them. I highly recommend you find room in your list for this card, at least right now. Make them scared of this card so that they have to play more optimally. So, that's all I got. This is the update. Yeah, I really like this deck. I think it's a strong meta contender, despite what anybody else says. A lot of people think regular red Wargreymon X is a better OTK deck, and I don't see it when this deck can swing multiple times with Blackwargreymon, either of them. You have Gaiomon, you still have all of the same tools with the red tie, the red Greymon. Like, you have all the same tools that Wargreymon X has to OTK your opponent. So, this deck also just has a little bit of control mixed in with it as well. So, thank you guys for watching. That's all I gotta say. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.